The United States of America was first built on the premise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Our founding fathers first created America so that every single citizen could have their own personal freedoms. These freedoms were explicitly stated in the First Amendment, which declares the freedom to exercise religion, the freedom of press, and most importantly, the freedom of speech.
We speak English. If you want to live here, learn it.
However, in recent times, state legislators have not upheld these freedoms, as they have passed laws prohibiting any language other than English. One such example is the wonderful state of California.
Here we come, right back where we started from.
In 1998, the state of California passed Proposition 227, which mandated English as the official language of all public schools in the California. The passing of this proposition led me to the question, wondering what were the effects of Proposition 227 on California students' education and teacher instruction. Passing of this proposition was first met with fierce opposition and controversy. There were teacher walkouts, and citizens protested this proposition in the streets. Because of the nature of this proposition and the demography of California, one might wonder how this bill even passed in the first place. This man, Ron Unz, a Silicon Valley millionaire, funded and campaigned for Proposition 227 to pass in California. His main campaign slogan read, "English for the children." This gave the false impression that this proposition would help the children and help their English learning skills, while in reality all it did was hurt and cost the state more money than it should have. The fiscal impact was huge as well, as it required the state to spend tons of money for unnecessary tutors. Linguistics professor Philip Carter furthered the argument that this proposition hurt the Californian economy, as he stated that conditions were right for California to build a multilingual economy of the future. Yet, however, they made the wrong decision, which ultimately hurt them, alienating citizens that spoke both languages from the workforce. Along with the negative economic impact, the impact on students' education was massive as well, as many failed to learn English and also lost the ability to speak in their native tongue. This happened because many native speakers were placed in remedial English classes that limited their ability to speak English while also not allowing them to speak their native language. Despite these shortcomings, the main failure of the English-only policies was that they believed that they could get results within 1 year, which was completely unrealistic for most students. These unrealistic expectations were confirmed by researchers in a paper titled Bilingual or Emergent, in which they found that students starting with no English skills would take 5 years or more before transitioning. As seen by the multitude of evidence, it is clear that bilingual education is better than English-only policies. Our own President, Barack Obama, will expand on this in the preceding video clip.
I don't understand when people are going around worrying about, we need to have English only. They want to pass a law, we want English only. Now, I agree that immigrants should learn English. I agree with that. But understand this, instead of worrying about whether immigrants can learn English, they'll learn English. You need to make sure your child can speak Spanish. You should be thinking about how can your child become bilingual. We should have every child speaking more than one language.
Along with huge impact on students, the English-only policies also had a massive effect on teacher instructions in the classroom. In a study titled, "Has California's passage of Proposition 227 made a difference in the way we teach?" researchers interviewed teachers and found that many were frustrated with the implementation of this law. The main finding of the study was that overall the interviewees felt negatively impacted by the passage of Proposition 227 because of how little instruction they received to teach it to their students. This led to teachers being stressed and overwhelmed by not knowing how to teach students and leaving students left behind as well. In conclusion, Proposition 227 was a massive failure as it negatively affected students by prohibiting their ability to learn English. It negatively affected schools and administrators by making teachers frustrated with their teaching style and making schools spend unnecessary amounts of money on tutors. And it ultimately hurt the entire state of California as well, as it required the state to spend unnecessary amounts of money.
Everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Back a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass him be. The state where you never